All right, how about the Lakers taking on the Thunder? No LeBron James tonight. He's out for at least a week with an abdominal strain. So Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis looking to pick up the slack. Under a minute left in the second quarter. Lakers up 52-45. Keep an eye on Davis. Fighting for the loose ball. Seems to jam his finger on the ball. He's in a considerable amount of pain here. This is the last thing the Lakers need is another injury with LeBron already out. Lakers with the 52-48 lead at the half. So we go to the third. Now, Davis wouldn't start the quarter, but he would check back in with his right thumb taped up. They're up one. Kent Bazemore driving. Davis with the finish. So under a minute left in the third. Lakers by 6. Rajon Rondo finding Carmelo Anthony, who's been on fire from 3. Having a great start to the season. LeBron loving it. Lakers up 80-72 after 3. Early fourth. Davis blocking the Josh Giddey layup and then streaks down the floor. Give him that Euro step. Davis looking just fine with that injury. Lakers up 9. Later in the fourth, though, OKC not going away. Remember, their one win in the year is against the Lakers. And they just kept on coming. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the crossover Euro step finishes with a tough lay. That was incredible. So over a minute left, Thunder down. They're up 98-95. Gilgeous-Alexander with another one, so they're up 6 now. Then it's Melo coming up clutch. Lakers down 2. Next Lakers possession, Westbrook in transition, gonna lose the ball out of bounds. Huge turnover at the wrong time for Russ. 21 seconds to go now. Inbound, Gilgeous-Alexander. 4 Lakers converge on him. And he hooks up with Lou Dort. Easy slam, Thunder up 4, ensuing Lakers possession. Melo. Again, 3 money. Lakers within 1 after 2 Thunder free throws. They're up 3. Lakers inbounding, 7.8 to go. Russ. Oh, you knew what he was going to do. Pulls up. Doesn't get it to go. Anthony Davis crashing the boards, but time running out as the Thunder beating the Lakers again. 107-104. So the Thunder have 2 wins this year. 26-point comeback win against the Lakers and now a 19-point comeback win against LA. OKC is just a 15 in the last 25 years with multiple comebacks that large against a single opponent in a season. Again, worth noting, LeBron didn't play.
Should the Lakers still be the favorites to win it all, Jay?
You're damn right they should be. Let me give you a Kobe Bryant quote. Everything negative, pressure and challenges, it's all an opportunity for me to rise. Mm-hmm. All these things, guys, veteran teams, people aren't going to like to hear it because we want to see the Lakers come out strong and be that team that dominates people right away. This is like training camp for them, right? They have to work out so many different things with their team defensively, a lot of question marks around it. That whole thing about passion, for me, that conflict is a good sign of growth because that was about miscues on how they guard a screen and roll. And my thing is, I don't want anybody on that team to settle for mediocrity. Mm-hmm. And LeBron James knows. You also saw in that game him talking trash to Cameron Payne. You say, all right, remember, be humble now. So I'm going to bet the house on the fact that guys like Russell Westbrook, he and I talk about it on our show all the time. We as athletes, I'm petty. I'm crazy competitive. I remember everything you do. So all the people lambasting Russell Westbrook, you don't think he's going to remember that? All the people talking trash to LeBron James, you don't think he's going to remember that? People not having Dwight Howard on the top 75 list, you don't think Dwight remembers that? That conflict you saw? These are all things that are going to perpetuate and motivate the Lakers. I don't care about where they start. I care about where they finish.
Okay. Yeah, and I think they still are the team to beat despite this little tit that they had on the sideline. In practice, you can only imagine, Stephen and Molly, what goes on in practice. Mm-hmm. The arguments, the pushing and shoving. They're trying to sort things out. Yeah. This won't be the first time. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last time. It just so happened it was on television. We saw it, and it was like, oh, God, what is going on here? It didn't cost them the game. It didn't cost them their season.
But why was Magic so bothered by it then?
Well, because Magic's been in a situation, like you said, for 42 years. He's never seen that. They handled their confrontation differently when he played.
I've seen a lot of confrontation like that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people go at it. I've worked out with Kobe. I've seen Kobe try to fight. I've seen Michael Jordan try to fight people.
That's not the biggest reason. If they were not to advance, that wouldn't be the biggest reason. It would be because their age, they're breaking down, they're not playing defense. That would be the problem, Stephen A.
Let me say this. First of all, the argument was nothing. It was much ado about nothing. And if you look at Dwight Howard, when Dwight Howard was going back at him, because NBA TV showed the complete footage, and AD had chased D. Howard down and confronted him. All Dwight Howard was saying to him was not on camera.
Yeah.
Not in public. If you look at him and you watch him, he's like, not here.
Yeah,
not,
being a veteran.
In other words, he's
Being a
like,
veteran.
not here. That's all he was saying. He wasn't having a problem with Anthony Davis, what Anthony Davis was saying. He's saying, you don't come at me like that with the cameras rolling in front of everybody. That's all Dwight Howard was saying. That's number one. Number two, let me say this to you. It wasn't a big deal, but what I'm seeing from the Lakers is a big deal only in this respect. It ain't about Russell Westbrook and questioning him. This brother's a walking triple-double. He's a future Hall of Famer. He made it on my top 75 list. Of course, LeBron did. Of course, AD did. Of course, Carmelo Anthony did. Dwight Howard, no, he'll be my top 100. He wasn't my top 75. That's a subject for another day. But let me tell you something right now. My reservations about the Lakers is my reservations about everybody. I am willing to sit here in front of y'all right now, and I'm telling you right now, the Golden State Warriors might win it all. And I'm telling you this, and let me say, I'm getting to a point where I'm using my imagination, imagining Klay Thompson comes back. Of course, I'm not talking about as presently constructed. Klay Thompson comes back. Wiseman comes back. All right, what I've seen from Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Damian Lee, Kuminga coming back. You know, they're not coming. You know, he's the first round pick, number 7 overall. I'm looking at this squad, their ability to hit shots and free throws. And I'm telling you right now, if Klay Thompson and brothers come back healthy, the only thing that will have any chance of stopping them is Kyrie Irving returning to Brooklyn to join Harden and KD. There is no one else, including the Lakers, that will be able to knock off the Golden State Warriors.
See, I push back on you.
That's where I'm at with
and
that.
not as a Laker fan, but merely as a basketball fan.
Okay.
Because this is a new team and a new nucleus coming together.
Okay.
You've got to give them an opportunity to gel. We just assume Klay Thompson's going to come back as Klay Thompson.
Right.
This brother's had 2 different surgeries over the last couple of years.
Okay. I want to respond to that, but let me say this to you. A couple of things that you need to pay attention to that I'm bringing up. Number one, I'm assuming the Lakers are going to get it together because I believe in any team led by LeBron James, they eventually will be ready. So long as they're healthy, they eventually will be ready come playoff time. And I believe in Russell Westbrook. I think he gets a bad rap, people calling him selfish or whatever. He might need to make better decisions, but he definitely needs to improve his perimeter shot because they dare him to shoot sometimes. That's problematic for them. And him and LeBron James have both struggled to shoot 70% from the free throw line in the last 3 years. People have ignored that. You got to make free throws come playoff time. That's one element. And number two, it's important, Jay, because you know you're going to get to the line. The game slows down. Defenses get back. More fouls are called. You're going to have to make free throws. We know Golden State ain't missing them. But these guys, they might miss them. Number two, and more importantly, remember when you bring up Klay Thompson's key?
Yes.
If it's Russell Westbrook and he has that kind of injury, it's a disaster. Because his success, is predicated on his athleticism.
But he still got to play defense, though.
Yeah, Klay Thompson.
But Klay got to
shoot.
but he still got to play defense.
Time out. Klay's success is based off his athleticism too now. Don't
Defensively.
sleep on his athleticism.
I'm not. I'm
Klay
talking about
Thompson
the
is one of the most athletic dudes there.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about he's such a pure shooter is what I'm saying.
great. So you see him as a pure...
He's not going to lose his shot. Is what I'm saying.
Okay,
he probably
shot.
won't.
But he was
His
also
shot.
one of their biggest clampdown defenders when
I
it
agree
came
with
to
that.
clutch moments.
I agree with
and
that.
my thing is, when you have you haven't played basketball in 2 years. If you were to sit here and say next year, I'm like, okay, I hear you on that next year because I actually want to see Klay play for a significant amount of time, not get injured, find his rhythm. I think it's a lot to put on Klay Thompson coming back this year. Left knee, torn ACL.
Twice.
Comes back twice, comes back off that. Torn Achilles in the right leg. That's compensation off another one. I'm not going to sit here and say Klay Thompson's going to be what he was 2.5 years ago
Defensively.
before he got hurt defensively. I think that's a huge